Hi crafty friends, it's Lori with A Craft Party. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to make these little beaded charms, and I've got a few different kind here, and we're going to go ahead and make them. Oops, knock that one over. There we go. And I'm going to put these off to the side because a couple of them are still a little wet because I've been practicing. And the paper that I'm going to use, it doesn't really matter, but the one I'm using is the Paper Studio Haberdashery. And I just took a piece out. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. The thing is you want it to be a little bit on the thick side. Another thing that would work really good would be cereal box or cracker box. I'm going to just cut a slice off of here. It doesn't really matter. I think that was about an inch or an inch and a half probably. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. The main thing is I'm going to use my 1/2 inch punch. And I'm just going to punch as many as you want. I'm just going to do a random amount. That'll be good since the punch has given me a little grief. And then I'm going to put all but 2 over here in this cup. I've got some started. And then what I want to do is take some glue. And I put a nice little dollop on there. And you're doing it so that the craft paper color is on the outside. So that's why it doesn't really matter what you use. Okay. And then you got that. Then I want to take my Distress ink, or oxide actually. And it's up to you whether you do this or not. I may or may not do it to all of them. But just go around the outside edge and ink it up. It's always nice to have the ink done up. And then I'm going to find one for the center. And we don't want it too big. Like some of these in here are too big. But there's a few that are about the right size, like this one. That looks like it might be a little big. See if I can find, is that the same size? No, let's go with that one. And I've just got miscellaneous beads, so I don't know what size they are. You can do these in any size round punch that you want. I'm just doing it in 1/2 inch because I think they look better. I've done some in different sizes. I had one at 1 inch, but I don't see it. And then I have this one at 1.5 inches, and I didn't like that one at all. It was just way too bulky. Okay, so we've got this one in the center. And then what do we want to do for the outside edge? Let's see. We could do white ones. Let's try that. And I've got a piece of paper here. I'm going to put this on. Let me see if I got another piece in my trash can that'll work just as good. This is nice. It's a nice piece of paper. It's trash. And I am going to just dump some of these out so I can get to them a little easier. We're going to put some glue around the outside edge. And I am using art glitter glue. Feel free to use the glue of your choice. I do not recommend using glue stick. I don't think the beads would stick to that. But then we just take the beads all of the same size. See if this one's the same size. Having trouble flipping it over. Little glue on my fingers, so yeah. You want the beads to be all the same size so they go around the circle well. And you're just putting them on here randomly. No, that's not the right size. Actually, it's not really random because you're putting them in a circle still. They want to land on their tops. They don't want to land with the flat side. That figures. Trying. There we go. Okay, and then I give them a little push around the outside edge to get them to be close up together as best you can, and then set it off to the side to dry. Okay, I'm going to put these back in the container. Okay, and then I've got some hearts here that I picked out of a miscellaneous. I'll show you. It's just got a little bit of everything in here. And that's how I bought it. And I believe I bought it off of Temu, but it could have been Amazon. But I've got some of the hearts that was in there. And I'm going to try the same thing with them. Grab 2 of the circles that I punched out. Put a dab of glue in the center. Then put, so the craft paper color is on the outside, and then like this one I got a little too much glue, so I just used my towel I've got off to my side. Okay, and then we're going to put, well, let's go ahead and ink. Yeah, ink that up. And then if you wanted to, you could ink with the color that you're using the beads for too. You don't have to necessarily ink with the vintage photo. You could ink it with the red or pink or whatever color that you're using. I want to put a little dab in the middle. And then let's go with the, oh, I don't know. Trying to see what I have that matches with it so we have a nice selection. Let's go with the pink. I'm going to go with the light pink. And I'm going to put it down there and try to center it. And then, you know what? I've got some other beads that are over here. And they're pink also. And this set of beads, I'm not sure where I got it either. I've had it for a long time. I haven't bought very many craft supplies because I have so many. Usually if I buy anything here lately, it's been at the thrift store, and I haven't even been doing that very often. So just letting you know that a lot of these, I don't know where I got them from, simply because it's been so long since I've purchased them. But Temu seems to be a big one that I get stuff from, and Amazon, and Goodwill, and a couple thrift stores that are just local to me. That's a little much glue. Let me get my towel. See if I can just wipe a little bit of that up. We want glue, but maybe not quite that much. I was talking and not paying attention. Imagine that. Okay, so we're going to just do the same thing with these. Go around the outside. And then you can put these on any of your ephemera to embellish it. And I need another one right there. And it just needs to move over just a little bit because So there we go. There's another one. Not using the heart. Oops. It's kind of stuck to the paper. Move that back over where it goes. Okay. I'm going to use my nail to get this off to the side, so hopefully we don't mess it up. Okay, that one's kind of sticky on that side. So let's do another one. And again, I'm putting the decorative side of the paper down so we don't see it. And we just got the craft paper on both sides. And I'm giving it a squeeze to get all that excess glue out of there. Wiping the glue on my towel. Like I said, you can ink it up if you want. Choose what color you want to ink up with if you're going to ink. Okay, looks like we've got that pretty good. And then we want to take our glue. Put a dollop in the middle. And this time I think, what have I got over here? Well, let's do some of these. Oops, see? It stuck to my finger. There we go. I'm going to move these off to the side. And I'm going to bring out these. And let's see what we've got that kind of matches. And I haven't tried this yet, I don't think. Yes, I did. I did try this. So hopefully it works. It looks good over there. Looks a little different than... Need to not have so much glue. Grab the towel. Okay. And we'll close this one up. I'm going to set these beads off to the side, and I'm going to use this lid to pour some in. So I still kind of made a mess out of them, but not quite as bad as if I'd have poured them on the table. There's a nice pink one. I think that's what I'm going to use. That's purple. That's pink. Oops, get my head out of the way. Sorry about that. Don't know if it was in view or not. There's a pink one. There's a pink one. And I'm just using random beads that I have in my stash. You can use the ones that you have in yours. And like I said, the size is up to you. I just did not prefer the larger ones. Maybe if I'd have done smaller beads, it might have looked better. There's the one I did that I wasn't impressed with. Okay. Now we've got that one. Set this off to the side. I'm going to bring some of these back out. There's one I did with the heart. There's one I just did. There's one I just did with the heart. Here's one I did with a star. Here's one that I did earlier, and I didn't like that one. The glue, I had too much glue on there, but I want to show you, that it's okay if you make a mistake. It'll be all right. Just have to keep trying. So there we've got those. I've got all these beads ready to go to make some more, but I wanted to stop in and make sure that you saw this as I was making it, and I plan on using it in another project that's coming up. But now you know how I made them. Thank you for stopping by. If you would, comment, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm of my channel. As always, happy crafting. Hugs.